What happens when the most hyped rookie in women's basketball gets absolutely humbled by someone 8 inches shorter, and the whole league watches it go viral?
This ain't even funny no more. I know everybody think I'm about to clown and I'm about to roast. This ain't even funny no more.
Angel Reese came into the WNBA with a storm of cameras, headlines, and expectations. Nicknamed the Bayou Barbie, she was supposed to change the game. The spotlight followed her from LSU to Chicago, and so did the pressure. But in just 3 games, that dream debut is quickly turning into a nightmare.
The meme. I'm not even going to call them a basketball team right now. I'm going to call them a meme that is Chicago Sky, because it's actually getting ridiculous.
The Chicago Sky aren't just losing, they're collapsing. And in a matchup that should have been a bounce-back game, Angel Reese put up another double-double. That meant absolutely nothing, because the Sparks, missing 2 starters, didn't just win.
Once again, this proves that Angel Reese's double-doubles does not equate to victories.
They made a statement. One moment in particular flipped the entire narrative. A 5'8" 8-inch veteran cooked Reese off the dribble and delivered the coldest taunt of the season. The crowd lost it. Social media lost it. And maybe Angel Reese did too. But this story isn't just about one play. It's about why none of the numbers seem to matter, why this team looks completely lost, and how one rising star may have just gotten exposed under the brightest lights. Let's get into it. Angel Reese didn't just arrive in the WNBA. She crashed into it with a tidal wave of media attention. From college highlight reels to magazine covers, she was positioned as the next face of the league. And for a minute, it looked like she might be. The energy, the charisma, the branding, it was all there. But under the bright lights of professional basketball, hype doesn't win games. Execution does. 3 games in, the Chicago Sky have 0 wins, not 1. And while Reese has been collecting double-doubles, they've been paired with double-digit losses. The numbers look solid on paper: points, rebounds, minutes played. But when you actually watch the games, the story changes. Missed layups, bad rotations, forced shots. The kind of things that don't show up in box scores but decide who wins and who gets humiliated. Meanwhile, other rookies around the league are showing fight. The Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark, another rookie under a giant spotlight, have taken defending champions down to the wire. They're not padding stats in blowouts, they're going punch for punch with elite teams. You can see the difference. One side is competing, the other is spiraling. And as the season starts to unfold, fans are asking a harsh question. Is Angel Reese a rising star, or just a well-marketed illusion? But things really hit rock bottom when the Sparks came to town. On paper, Angel Reese delivered again. 13 points, 12 rebounds. Another double-double for the resume. But if you watch the game, you know those numbers were empty. The Chicago Sky lost, again, this time to a Los Angeles Sparks team, missing 2 starters. It wasn't close, it wasn't competitive. It was a 91-78 blowout that exposed every crack in Chicago's system, and every flaw in Reese's game. And here's the part that really stings. Most of her production came cleaning up her own mess. 3 of her 5 made shots came after grabbing her own missed layups, miss rebound, score. It looked less like dominance and more like desperation. She shot just 45%, and nearly all of those shots were within 5 feet of the rim. No mid-range game, no spacing, just brute force at the basket. And even that wasn't working. Her teammates were visibly frustrated. You could see it, calling for the ball, waving their arms, watching her force up contested shots instead of making the simple pass. The body language was loud. The message even louder: we can't win like this. And the worst part? This wasn't some fluke night. Just a game earlier, Reese went 0 for 8 against New York, 0 field goals. And across 4 games, she's hit just 1 3-pointer. The shooting isn't there, the efficiency isn't there, and the wins definitely not there. Still, her fans are hyping the double-double like it means something. But the scoreboard told a different story, and just when it felt like things couldn't get more embarrassing, they did. because the next moment didn't just go viral. It became a WNBA legend overnight. Every player has that moment, the one that lives on social media long after the final buzzer. For Angel Reese, that moment came when Kelsey Plum turned her into a walking meme. Midway through the game, Plum caught the ball at the top, took one hard dribble, and blew right by Reese like she wasn't even there. No hesitation, no screen, just raw quickness. Reese, standing 6 feet 4 inches, couldn't react fast enough. By the time she turned her head, Plum was already at the rim, finishing with a smooth left-hand layup. Then came the taunt. As she ran back down the court, Plum dropped her hand below her hip, palm flat. The classic too small gesture. And she didn't whisper it, she performed it. In front of the cameras, in front of the bench, in front of Reese. The arena erupted, social media detonated. A 5'8" guard had just punked the most hyped rookie in the league and made sure the whole world knew it. Within minutes, the WNBA's official account was posting the clip. The Sparks Twitter feed posted the still frame. Fans turned the freeze frame into GIFs, memes, TikToks, and breakdown videos. It wasn't just a highlight, it was a statement, and it spread like wildfire. That moment didn't just expose a defensive breakdown, it exposed a reputation. Kelsey Plum, a veteran and champion, didn't just beat Reese on a play. She embarrassed her, she mocked her, and she reminded the league that hype doesn't equal respect. But if you thought that play was the peak of the disaster, think again. Because what happened next showed that this wasn't just about one moment. It was about a broken team with no answers and no leadership. You know things are bad when your own fans stop arguing and start laughing. And that's exactly what's happening with the Chicago Sky. After that viral too small moment, the attention turned from Angel Reese's embarrassment to the bigger problem. The entire team is falling apart. The Sky didn't just lose, they looked clueless doing it. Miscommunications, missed rotations, players bumping into each other like it was their first day at practice, and on the sidelines, silence. No urgency, no adjustments, just blank stares. This wasn't a tough loss to a great team. This was a beatdown delivered by a short-handed opponent. The Sparks were missing Cameron Brink, their rising star, and Rakia Jackson, a key piece of their offense. Yet they still walked into Chicago's house and left with an easy double-digit win. The problem starts at the top. Coach Tyler Marsh, dubbed Marshmallow by frustrated fans, looks like he's running a system made for preseason scrimmages. Questionable rotations, poor offensive sets, and a complete lack of defensive identity. You can't win games if your players don't know where to be. And right now, the Sky don't even look like they know who they are. Front office decisions haven't helped either. The team gave up the number, 3rd overall pick to get Ariel Atkins, a solid veteran who's barely touching the ball. She's averaging under 5 shots per game and hasn't cracked double figures once. Meanwhile, the rookie they gave up, Sonia Citron, is already making waves elsewhere. Fans have started calling the Sky a meme team, and honestly, they're not wrong. Other teams are joking about them during warm-ups. Analysts are skipping their highlights entirely. And players around the league, they're circling Sky games on the calendar, not as a challenge, but as a guaranteed win. It's reached the point where Chicago doesn't just lose, they get laughed at doing it. But while the Sky are crumbling, another rookie is proving what real leadership looks like, even in defeat. And the contrast couldn't be more brutal. While Angel Reese and the Sky were getting torched by a depleted Sparks squad, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were doing something very different. Fighting hard against the defending champions. In a nail-biter that went down to the final seconds, the Fever nearly pulled off the upset of the season against the New York Liberty. Clark dropped 18 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds. Not in garbage time. Not when the game was out of reach. She did it under pressure, against the league's top-tier talent, and with the outcome hanging in the balance. It wasn't just the numbers, it was the intent. Clark attacked every possession like it mattered. She created shots for her teammates. She stayed composed when the defense tightened, and even when the refs missed a blatant foul that could have sent her to the line to tie the game, she didn't whine. She owned it. In the post-game interview, she talked about improving consistency and building chemistry. Things you say when your focus is on winning, not just stat lines. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is out here patting rebounds off her own missed shots, while the team loses by 13 to a team with half a roster. One rookie is grinding through elite competition, getting better every game. The other is posting double-doubles that barely dent the scoreboard and somehow becoming the centerpiece of a team that looks like it gave up in week 1. Social media noticed, the fans noticed, and now the conversation is shifting. Not just about Reese and Clark, but about what matters in this league. It's not hype. It's not Instagram followers. It's not how many rebounds you grabbed off your own miss. It's who's actually competing when the lights are brightest. And in that battle, Angel Reese isn't just falling behind, she's getting left in the dust. But what's even more alarming, the next stretch of the season might break this team completely. This isn't just about one bad game. This is about a pattern and what it reveals. Angel Reese is 3 games into her WNBA career, and already the warning signs are flashing bright red. Fans are waking up to a tough truth. The stats might look good, but the impact is missing. And in a league this competitive, empty stats don't fool anyone, not for long. When a 5'8" 8-inch guard cooks you at the rim and then mocks you in front of the world, that's not just a highlight. That's a statement. A veteran like Kelsey Plum doesn't do that unless she knows you haven't earned the respect yet. That taunt didn't come from nowhere. It came from frustration, from confidence, from the knowledge that this so-called rival isn't in the same league, figuratively or literally. And here's where it gets even uglier. Reese was supposed to be the face of the Chicago Sky, the anchor, the spark, the piece to build around. But when your star can't hit layups, can't stretch the floor, and doesn't pass when her teammates are wide open, you're not building a contender, you're building a trap. A roster that looks better in marketing materials than in actual matchups. Worse, it's not just the fans saying it anymore. And analysts are asking real questions. Is she too raw for the role she's been handed? Was her college dominance just a system advantage? And if she's not your best player, then who is? Because so far the answer appears to be no one. Meanwhile, Kelsey Plum didn't just show up, she showed out. 28 points, 6 threes, 8 assists. She ran the floor like a surgeon and embarrassed every single defensive look Chicago threw at her. That's what a real pro does when the lights are on. She didn't care about viral moments. She became one and backed it up with a win. Reese's biggest viral moment? Getting too small in front of millions. The difference is simple. One player showed leadership. The other showed why hype without skill is just noise. But as bad as this game was, the worst might still be coming. If you thought it couldn't get worse for the Chicago Sky, buckle up. Their next few games? Absolutely brutal. Analysts are already predicting they won't sniff a win until late June. That's nearly a month of getting steamrolled night after night by teams that are better coached, better structured, and frankly, just better. Some insiders are even wondering if the Sky will reach 5 total wins this entire season. That's not just bad, that's historic. The frustration is bubbling over. Players are visibly checked out before tip-off. Nobody's diving for loose balls. Nobody's fighting through screens. The defense looks optional. It's not just a lack of chemistry, it's a lack of effort. And in the WNBA, when your opponents stop respecting you, the game gets 10 times harder. Even the coach looks lost. Tyler Marsh's system is drawing comparisons to pickup basketball. Players are colliding on simple sets, rotating late on defense, and improvising on every possession. That's not development, that's chaos. If there's a vision here, no one can see it. And Angel Reese, she's still posting stats, still doing press, still getting spotlighted in national coverage. But the noise is shifting. The fans are no longer buying the narrative. They're asking the tough questions. If this is your star, where are the wins? If this is your leader, why does the team look leaderless? Meanwhile, other teams are licking their chops. Chicago has become a league-wide punchline. Players from rival squads are laughing during warm-ups, cracking jokes on the bench, and calling Sky games automatic. When professional athletes start treating you like a bye week, your season's already over. But there's one question hanging over all of this. One the league, the media, and fans can't stop asking: is Angel Reese overrated? Here's the truth people are starting to say, but nobody in the Reese camp wants to hear. Hype doesn't win games. Stats without wins don't matter. And if you're the face of a franchise that's falling apart, the spotlight turns brutal fast. Angel Reese can post another double-double. She can rebound her own misses. She can smile in post-game interviews. But none of that means anything when the scoreboard tells a different story. Her team is winless. Her impact? Minimal. Her hype? Fading. Meanwhile, across the league, rookies like Caitlin Clark are grinding through adversity, competing against champions, keeping their teams in games, and taking hits on the court, from the media, from officials, and still getting back up. That's not just talent, that's leadership. Right now, the WNBA has two rookie stars at a crossroads. One is learning fast, evolving, and turning losses into lessons. The other is collecting empty numbers while her team becomes the league's favorite punchline. And that viral too small taunt. It wasn't just disrespect, it was a wake-up call. A moment that said, you don't run this league yet. You've got to earn it. With wins, with growth, with consistency. Until then, the memes will keep coming. The losses will keep piling up, and the noise won't go away. So here's the question. Is Angel Reese really the future of the league, or just another product of the hype machine? Let us know what you think. Is Reese unfairly targeted, or is the criticism justified? Drop your take in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown like this one.